The story of Ruth in 3 minutes, a God Helps animated production. In the parched lands of Moab, Ruth's life hung by a thread. Widowed and alone, she had only her bereaved mother-in-law Naomi to turn to. When Naomi decided to return to Bethlehem, Ruth faced a choice. She made the fateful decision to go with Naomi, stepping into an unknown future. Ruth couldn't have imagined what lay ahead as she left her homeland behind. Ruth clung to Naomi, adopting her mother-in-law's faith as her own. "Where you go, I will go," she declared, her eyes blazing with determination. "And your God will be my God." Both women were strangers in Bethlehem, and their every move was greeted with gossip and stares. Ruth went out to glean in the harvest fields, risking the possibility that men, moved by lust and greed, would treat her badly. Fate stepped in. The field belonged to Boaz, a close relative of Naomi's late husband. He had seen Ruth working hard in the field, and he was moved by a tender heart. He ordered his servants to leave extra grain for her. Ruth returned home with her arms full of an unexpectedly large harvest. Naomi's eyes grew wide with surprise. "Whose field?" she demanded. Then she heard the name of Boaz, and her eyes lit up. Now Naomi had a plan. Ruth went to the threshing floor where Boaz slept at night. It was a daring move that could have backfired. With her heart pounding, Ruth slipped through the darkness, lying at Boaz's feet in a gesture signaling her willingness to marry. Boaz awoke with a start, his initial shock giving way to tenderness as he recognized Ruth. But his face soon clouded with concern. He remembered another man had a closer family claim to be Ruth's redeemer, potentially complicating their situation. The following day, the scene shifted to the town gate, where Boaz confronted this other man. A crowd gathered, and the drama continued to build. The other man gave up his claim to Ruth, and Boaz was free to marry her. Their marriage was not just a love story, but a redemption. Ruth, the foreigner, became the wife of a great man. Naomi, who had come back empty, now had a grandson to call her own. The story doesn't end there, though. This son of Ruth and Boaz, Obed, would father Jesse, who would become the father of David, destined to be the king of Israel. When Ruth gave birth to a son, the townswomen came to greet Naomi. "We praise the Lord," they said, "who has shown you mercy. Your daughter-in-law has given birth to a son for you." The neighbors added, "We bless the Lord who has not left you without a redeemer. This child will carry on the family name and provide security for your old age." The embittered past was gone. Ruth stood tall with her infant son and looked Naomi in the eye. Words were not needed. They knew what each of them had suffered and survived. They knew all about the pain and about the love. The Moabite widow had chosen faith over fear, and she had found a home.